Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rohit. In this particular video, I'm going to discuss about built-in functions in strings. So what are built-in functions? A built-in function is a function which comes inbuilt or pre-installed when we basically install Python programming language on our systems. So in order to know what are the different built-in functions present as far as strings is concerned, and these built-in functions are also available in data structures like lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. And these built-in functions differ from data structure to data structure. So in order to know what are the built-in functions present in strings data type, first we have to create a object or a variable of that particular string data type. So before I create that, I would like to restart my kernel first. Yes. Now I have created, in this first line I have created a variable a wherein I'm storing my string Rohit, which is enclosed within the single quotes. Now there is a function dir which is used to know what are the built-in functions present in that particular object. So here we have created an variable a wherein I'm storing this particular string. So if we basically pass this particular variable as an argument to this particular function, it is going to give us a list of built-in functions of that particular data type. So here I have specified string, then it is going to, this function is going to return us a list of data types that are present. These are the data types starting from capitalize till zfill. First, what is a capitalize function do? The capitalize function is going to convert the first character of a string into uppercase. So here I have taken Rohit in lowercase. The string is in lowercase. So when I use a capitalize function, it is going to convert the first character, that is R, into uppercase, and it is going to return the output. So it has done the same thing. So before I execute that, let me execute this function. So I have it has executed. A is equal to a dot capitalize is equal to capital R OHIT in lowercase. Now before I explain you about the next function known as the case fold function, I would like to take another string a which is completely in uppercase. So what does this case fold function do? This case fold function basically converts, if irrespective of the string, even if it is in the completely in uppercase or if it is having a mixture of both uppercase and lowercase, irrespective of that, this case fold function is going to convert the whole string into lowercase format. So here I have taken a string which is completely in uppercase, and when I apply this case fold function, it has converted the whole string into lowercase. Now this center function, when it comes to center function, this center function is used to basically place the particular string in exactly in the center, keeping three things in mind. Before I tell those three things, to the center function I basically pass one argument, and this argument is for this argument is basically the width. So this width based on this width value, using this width value, it is going to place that particular string exactly in the center. So by keeping in three things in mind, first thing, it will take the length of the string into consideration. Second thing, how many number of spaces should be left onto the left hand side and how many spaces should be left onto the right hand side. So here the length of my string is 5 because it is having 5 characters R, O, H, I and T. 14 minus 5 is 9. Still we are having a width of 5 left. So 14 minus 5 is 9. Sorry, 9. So we are having a width of 9 still. So this 9, what Python does is either it will leave 4 spaces onto the left hand side or onto the right hand side, and in the other way around, either it is going to leave 4 spaces onto the left hand side and 5 spaces onto the right hand side, or 5 spaces onto the left hand side, or 4 spaces onto the right hand side. But based on the width specified as an argument to this function, it is going to place that particular string exactly in the middle, and it is going to leave some space in the left hand side and onto the right hand side. This is what center function does. Now next, coming to the count function. Count function, what does count function do? A count function basically tells us or gives us the count of how many times that particular character has occurred in that particular string. So here I have created a string, another string Rohit, in which OHIT and OHIT is repeating twice, and I want the count of the character O. How many times is it repeating in that particular string? So when I use the count function and I pass the argument that of which I want the of character which I want the count of. So here I need a count of O in this whole string. So whenever I execute this, it is going to return a value of 2. Why? Because in this whole string O has occurred twice. One, it has occurred in the at the index 1 and at the index 3, at the index 5. So this is what count function does. A count function is basically tells us how many number of times does that particular character has occurred or has repeated in that particular string. Next, ends with. What does ends with function do? Ends with function, it is going to return a boolean value, either true or false. It is going to return true only if that particular string is going to end with that particular character which I specify or which we specify as an argument to this function. Here I have specified an argument r, a character r, and I'm checking whether this particular string Rohit, which is stored in the variable a, does it end with r or not. So when I basically run this code, it is returning me a boolean value of false. Why? Because this particular string is not ending with r, it is ending with t. If at all I replace r with t, then it is going to return true. This is how this ends with function do. So in short, ends with is going to check whether a particular string is ending with that particular character which we specify as an argument to the function ends with, else it is going to return false. Find. So in my previous video I have told you, I have explained about indexing and slicing. So in what is indexing? Indexing is nothing but it is the way of extracting a character from the string, is nothing but indexing. So and I have also told you that whenever we are going from left hand side to the right hand side, whenever we are traversing from left hand side to the right hand side, the Python programming language follows zero based indexing. When we come from right hand side to the left hand side, it follows one based indexing. So in order to find the index value of a particular character present in the string, what we have to do is we have to pass that particular character as an argument, and when we pass that particular argument to this find function, it is going to find at which index position is this particular character present. So whenever let us consider I want to find O in this string, at what index value it is present. So it is giving me 1. And there is also one more rule which is to be kept in mind while using this find function. This find function is going to return the index value of the first occurrence. What does it mean? So in short, see, so whenever we are going from left hand side to the right hand side, r is present at 0th index, O is present at first index, H is present at second index, I is present at third index, T is present at fourth index, again O is present at fifth, H sixth, I is seventh, and T eighth. But whenever we are using find function, it is returning the index value as 1. But we are having o at the first index and also at the fifth or the sixth index. But why it is returning only the first index? That is the reason whenever we use the find function, it is going to give the index value of the first occurrence. Wherever it finds the value, wherever it finds this particular character, it is going to return the particular index value of that particular character. So this is how find function works. Find function works only, or it returns the index value which it finds at the first occurrence. And the same working is being done by the index function as well. It is also going to find the index of that particular character in the given string. Now next I'm again creating another string called as Rohit, and I'm checking whether this particular string is an alphanumeric or not. This function is also going to return as a boolean value true or false. It is going to return true if the particular string is having the combination of alphabets and numbers, and it is also going to return true if the string is completely having alphabets, and it is also going to return true if the particular string is having numbers. It is going to return false if and only if that particular string is having any other special characters like hashtag, at the rate, dollar symbol, percentile symbol. Then in that case it is going to return false, and I'm going to show you each and every case which I have mentioned. So I've created a variable a is equal to Rohit. I'm checking whether this is an alphanumeric or not. Yes, true. Why? Because it is containing alphabets. Next, I have created Rohit123, which is having both alphabets and numbers. When I check whether this is an alphanumeric, yes, it is going to return true. And I'm again checking whether by taking only numbers, whether this particular variable b is an alphanumeric or not. That is, the string which is being stored in the variable b is alphanumeric or not. Yes, it is going to return true. But apart from alphabets and numbers, if I take any special characters like I have taken here hashtag, at the rate, and exclamation mark, whenever I check whether this is an alphanumeric or not, it is going to return false, because it is not containing either alphabets or numbers or mixture of both alphabets and numbers. This is what is does. Whenever we basically have is before the function name, then it is going to return, it is going to do a check, and it is going to return as a boolean value. Is ASCII, what does is ASCII do? Is ASCII is basically used to check whether the string which is being stored in the particular variable a is a ASCII characters, or is having ASCII characters or not. If it is having ASCII characters, then it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. A dot is decimal. It is going to check whether whether the string is a decimal or not. So as here, for example, if you check it with b, so if I replace a with b, it is going to return true. Why? Because it is a decimal value, it is having numbers. If at all I replace b with a, it is going to return false, because it is completely having textual characters like alphabets. That is the reason it is returning false. So is decimal function is going to return true if it has any numeric numbers, yeah, specified within the single quotes or double quotes. Then only it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. Is digit also same. It is also going to return true if if the particular string is having numbers in it. Is identifier as in C. uh, is identifier, yes, is identifier. If you want to know what exactly does it, you can also click shift and tab in order to check. Returns true if the string is a valid Python identifier, false otherwise. So let us consider I have created a variable c is equal to Rohit, and if I replace a with c here, it is going to return as a boolean value of true. Why it is returning? Because this particular string is being stored in the variable c. What is an identifier? According to the tokens video which I have prepared, uh, according to the tokens video, an identifier is the name given to a variable. So c is the name which is given to a variable. So it is checking whether this particular string is stored in any other variable or not, is which is the whether this particular string is given any name or not. If at all if at all a particular string is stored in a variable, or or if it is given a name, then in that cases it is going to check, it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. If I basically remove this c is equal to, and if I give directly Rohit, and if I basically uh, sorry, it won't yeah, if I basically check whether by giving Rohit dot is identifier, then it is also going to return true. It is also going to return true, because I have given a name to this string. So is identifier, what is an identifier? Identifier is the name given to a variable, string, constant, or of user defined function. So it is going to check whether this particular string is an identifier or not. Is lower, is a function which is going to check whether the string which we have created is in the lower case or not. If it is in the lower case, it is going to return true, as it is going to return false. Now it is returning false, because now why it is returning false, let us have a look. What is the string which is stored in this? It is having hashtag at the rate and exclamation symbol, but it is not have it is not able, the Python is interpreter is not able to check whether these are the lowercase characters or not. That is the reason it is giving us as false. But if at all, if we take ROHIT, then in lowercase, and if we basically try to run this, then it is going to return true. Why? Because the each and every character present in the string is in the lowercase. Next is numeric function. Numeric function is a function which is basically used to check whether the particular string is a numeric character, is of numeric data type or not. If, for example, instead of Rohit, if we specify 1 2 3, and if we check a dot is numeric, then it is going to check whether the date whether the information, whether the text which is being specified within the double quotes or the single quotes are having any numbers or not. If it is having numbers, then it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. Is printable, as in, can we print this particular string or not? If it is printable, then it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. Is space, what does this is space does is space is going to check whether there is any space between the characters in a string. If it is there, it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. Is title, so it is going to check whether the particular string which is being stored in a particular variable is a title or not. uh, when does it return true? Is if at all the first character is in uppercase form, then it is going to return as a true. So let us have a look at this practically. If I basically create a variable a is equal to Rohit in smaller case, and if I check a dot is title, it is going to return false. But if I replace capital small r with capital R, and if I check a dot is title, now it is going to return true. Why? Because according to the definition, if we basically hit shift and tab, it is going to return true if the string is a titled case string, false otherwise. Titled case as in, if the first character of the string is in uppercase, then it is going to return true, else it is going to return false. Upper, upper is going to is actually used to check whether the particular string is completely in uppercase or not. So dot join function is basically used to join a particular string based on a delimiter. So let us consider, here I have taken a string a which is having a value Rohit. So if I basically did not give any delimiter, then it is going to give as it is. If I give a space, then it is going to delimit or separate each and every character by one space. If I run this, there will be a R space O space H space I space T. So it is going to give a space for each and everything. So if I give like this, sorry, so instead of space, we are basically delimiting the each and every character with a forward slash R forward slash O forward slash H. So it is going to basically add a forward slash between the characters. This is what join function does. So in order to get a clear picture, what we can do is you can also hit shift and tab and wait a second, wait 1 minute, join. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I think we can't see what is the talk string of this particular this thing. Wait a second. Yeah, we can't see, I believe. Yeah, next a dot ljust. Ljust what so what did center do is it basically placed the string exactly in the center by keeping the width in mind and also 3 points in mind, like the length of the string and the number of trailing spaces which are to be given at the left hand side and at the right hand side. What does ljust do is it is going to adjust the width onto the left hand side by adding trailing leading spaces onto the right hand side. So if we give 11 by taking 5 length of the string as 5 characters, 11 minus 5 is 6 and 11 minus 5 is 6, and this 6 spaces are given onto the right hand side. This is what ljust do. Ljust what it does is it will adjust the width on the left hand side by adding some leading spaces onto the right hand side. This is what ljust do. Lower, again it will check whether the particular string is it basically converts the string into a lower case. L strip basically if at all there are any for example, if I've taken C, I want to take a string here wherein I basically given spaces here, Rohit, again spaces. So so wait a second, sorry. Yeah, yeah, in else strip what does it do is it is going to remove all the spaces onto the left hand side. So I have given these many spaces, the 4 to 5 spaces on left hand side and 4 to 5 spaces on the right hand side. If I want the output to be if I want the output to be having only the spaces onto the right hand side and this string coming back to the string, then we use the concept of else strip. So it is going to remove the spaces onto the left hand side and it is going to keep the spaces onto the right hand side as it is. There is also one more thing known as the R strip. R strip, I'm going to add this a dot R strip, yes. So what it is going to do is it is going to keep the number of keep the spaces onto the left hand side as it is, and it is going to remove the leading spaces on the right hand side. This is what R strip. L strip as in strip all the spaces onto the left hand side. R strip as in strip all the spaces or remove all the spaces onto the right hand side. Replace function, let us consider we have specified a name Rohit here. So replace, what it does is it is going to replace a character with another character. So let us consider I want to replace R with T here in the first character. So a dot replace, the first argument is the character which you want to replace, whose place you want to replace. Instead of R you want to replace T, you want to replace R with T. So you will specify the first character of first argument as the old character, and the second argument will be the character which is to be replaced. So so R with T. So whenever I run this, the R gets replaced with T by keeping the spaces on the left hand side and the right hand side as it is. Split function, what it does is it will split the string based on the delimiter we specify here. Not only delimiter, we can also specify a character. If you want to split the whole string with R, then in the place of R we are going to get a comma ohit. see comma, this is the space, this is r, or instead of r we have split it on the basis of r. That is the reason we are getting comma ohit, and again space. This is how split function do it basically splits the string based on the argument or the character specified here. Starts with is basically opposite of ends with. It is going to check whether that particular string is starting with that particular character or not. If it is going to start with that particular character, it is going to return true, as it is going to return false. A dot strip function, we have studied about L strip and R strip. L strip is going to remove the spaces onto the left hand side, and R strip is going to remove all the spaces onto the right hand side. But if you want to remove the spaces both on the left hand side and on the right hand side, it is then we have to use a strip function. So if you take a look at A, we are having spaces on the left hand side and on the right hand side. But if we use the strip function, it is going to remove the spaces both on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Swap case, what it does is, if at all, if there is a let us consider, yeah, A is equal to r, oh sorry, r o h I t. Let us consider we have created a string Rohit wherein there is a mixture of both lowercase and uppercase. Swap case, what it does is, it will convert the uppercase into a lowercase and lowercase into the uppercase whenever we run this A. So yeah, so here r is in uppercase, it has converted to lowercase. Here o is in lowercase, it is converted into the uppercase. So swap case does, what it does is, it will swap the cases. So if it is in the uppercase, it is going to convert into lowercase. If it is in lowercase, it is going to convert into uppercase. As we have also seen the title function, zfill function. So in LJust or in LJust and RJust, what we have seen, based on the width we specify, it is going to replace that particular width with spaces. In the same way, zfill is going to replace that particular width. Here I have given the width of 11, out of which 5 is the length of my string, and width of 6 is left out, and the width of 6 in normal LJust and RJust, it is going to replace that particular width which is remaining with the spaces. But in zfill, it is going to fill it with zeros. So ROHIT 5, 11 minus 5, 6, and it is going to replace with 6 zeros. So zfill is used to basically fill the so if you want to get a clear picture, pad a numeric string with zeros on the left to fill a field of the given width. So it is going to fill the number of fill with the number of zeros. It is going to pad number of zeros according to the width given by keeping the length of the string in mind. So here I have specified a width of 11, out of which 5 is the length of my string. 11 minus 5 is 6, and that as we are having remaining width of 6, it is going to pad 6 zeros on the left hand side. This is what zfill does. But what does ljust do? Ljust, it is going, instead of replacing it with zeros, it is going to give us a trailing spaces. Now, apart from all these functions, there is one more function known as the format function. What is a format function? A format function is nothing but a placeholder. Let us consider, I have created a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and I want to do an addition function of a plus b is equal to a plus b, and I want to print the, see, wait a second, 1 minute, yeah, print the sum of a and b is comma c. So comma c. So when I'm trying to print the value of sum of a and b, I'm getting c, 1 plus 2 is 3. But instead of this a and b, if I want to replace this a and b with 1 and 2, or if I want the sum of 1 and 2 to be is 3, if I want the output like that, then in that case, instead of using a and b, I can use flower braces, and I can also use flower braces here. Is dot format is, again, we instead of using comma c, we can also use this one, dot format of a comma b comma c. Then what does this format is going to do is, it is going to replace this flower braces with the value of a, this flower braces with the value of b, and this flower braces with the value of c. So format function is basically a placeholder wherein it substitutes the values of a, b and c in the places of this flower braces. So whenever I try to run this, the output will be the sum of 1 and number 2 is number 3. So the sum of 1 and 2 is 3. This is what format does. This can also be replicated not only for integers and floats but also with uh, strings. So here I've basically created a variable text one wherein my name is, I'm giving first name as first name, and I am so and so. If I want years old, so I'm going to use a format wherein I'm passing my f name to be John and age to be 36. Now the output should be, my name is John, comma, I am 36 years old. So if I basically print the value of txt1, I'm going to get the same. Apart from giving zeros and ones, apart from giving f name and age directly, the variables, what we can do is we can also specify numbers here, 0 1 or 1 2. So in the place of 0, John gets replaced, in the place of 1, 36 gets replaced, and the output is going to be the same. My name is John and I am 36, and this can also be rewritten like this as well. Instead of giving like this, we can also rewrite. So 0 is equal to John, comma, 1 is equal to 36. No, we can't write. We have to basically convert this into a string, and what we have to do is we have to basically convert like this. No, still it is not working. So what we can do is, instead of 0 and 1, we can also give a and b. So here here a is equal to John, b is equal to 36, and need not convert that to a string. Now you can get, my name is John and I am 36. Same with the case of this. So I have told you I have used a same format here in this. So this flower braces gets replaced with John, and this flower braces gets replaced with 36. These are the built-in functions present in strings. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed, and please hit the bell icon for more notifications and videos. And I'm also going to include this particular notebook into my GitHub, and I'm going to give the link of that particular GitHub in the description of this particular video. Stay safe, keep learning, and keep growing. Bye bye.